102.3 WBAB, Long Island's number one rock station. I'm Donna. On the phone, we have Alan White, drummer from Yes. Alan, great to talk to you, and we can't wait to see the band at the NYCB Theater at Westbury in July.
That's right, yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. I remember that gig well. It's the theater where there isn't a bad seat.
Oh, exactly, yes. It's a great place to see a show. Now tell me what the lineup is. Players come and players go, and Yes. Who's in, who's out?
The lineup is Chris Squire, Steve Howe, who have been in the band, as you know, since pretty much the beginning.
Right.
And myself, who this year is my 40th year with the band. So... and then on keyboards we have Jeff Downs, who was in the band in the early 80s. And then we have a new singer called John Davidson, who is really super. We just finished an Asian tour. We went to, like New Zealand, Australia, Japan for a week, and then Indonesia, which we've never been to before, and then finished in Hawaii. And I got back home about 10 days ago. But so we've been traveling around, and the band was playing superb out there. I really enjoy having John Davidson as a singer. He's been a fan of the band for so many years, and he just fits in so well, and he knew pretty much all of the material when he joined, and it was a very easy task to get him into the fold.
To incorporate him into the Yes fold.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, let me ask you, you guys have toured extensively, and the trend these days seems to be to promise a classic album in its entirety. Have you thought of perhaps playing the Yes album or Fragile or Close?
We've actually... we've done that on quite a few tours before now, but this time something different. We had an album that came out last year.
Fly From Here.
It was called Fly From Here, and we're doing one. On that album, there's a part of it. There's 5 songs joined into one. It's called A Suite, and we do that live on stage on this tour, and we've been playing it real well, and I really love playing it. It's some of the new music of Yes that we're doing, not so much the classic. And but of course we do lots of classic hits around it and songs that the public seem to want to hear.
Oh, sure. You could never not play those songs that Yes
Yeah,
is...
you wouldn't believe how many times we tried not to play Roundabout, but people just complain after about 2 weeks of touring.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. You cannot go to a Yes show and not hear Roundabout. It would be a heartbreaking experience.
I think I could probably play that song and read a book with my left hand while I was doing it.
So, Alan, I have to ask you less about Yes and more about you, just if I could digress for a moment. You've, in your past, played with like a billion prestigious artists, John Lennon, George Harrison on All Things Must Pass.
Yep.
Which to this day is a Desert Island disc. How is it that you've stuck with Yes for 40 years and not roamed all over the rock map?
Well, you know what? As enjoyable as it was playing with people like John Lennon, and I played on Imagine, on All Things Must Pass, and those kind of albums. But I was really only 20 years old when I was doing that kind of stuff, and I seemed to be a very naive kind of like musician who just thought it was part of a stepping stone in my career as a rock music guy, Mm-hmm. So actually, when I got asked to join Yes, it was really a little bit more of a challenge because the music is very challenging to play. So it keeps your interest in trying to play all of this difficult kind of music on a nightly basis, basically. So you have to be really right on to play with the band. And like I say, it's a challenge all the time, and that's what I enjoy.
That's great that you're still being challenged all these years later. Now, I have to ask you the big question, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and how they completely ignore prog rock. And let's face it, yes, the granddaddy of prog rock bands.
Yeah, well, it's a big thorn in a lot of bands' side is that the prog music, as we know it, like a lot of just really great bands from the late 60s, early 70s, and that were really at the forefront of changing styles of music, and have been for at least like 40 to 50 years now. And of course, the Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd and those kind of people obviously get straight in there, but there's bands like Yes who've just carried that banner for a long time, and they seem to get ignored by, it's just, it's who you are, how long. And so many years I've heard, we think you're definitely going to get in next year, and, we've never been nominated or got in. So, it's a sore point with a lot of Yes fans, too, and, hopefully one day, while we're still all around, it may happen. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope they don't wait until you're not around anymore, because that would be a crying shame.
Yeah,
but
it would be a big crime to have. Genesis just got in like the last year.
In 2010, and everybody said Genesis is going to kick the doors open for the prog rock bands, and nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
If Jan Wenner were here right now, I'd slap him around, Alan, I got to tell you.
Well, he's one of the driving things behind those thoughts, I believe.
And one last question, because I know you've got to run, but my listeners will lynch me if I don't ask, will there be a reconciliation with John Anderson?
It's that $64 question, isn't it? Who knows? At one time, hopefully we can get back together with John, whether it be for just a few specialized kind of, shows that are an occasion and not so much like a whole tour.
Right.
It would probably be the case.
Summer Olympics, London Summer Olympics. You got to do it.
Yeah, well, a lot of Yes fans would love to see that, and I'm still great friends with John, and he's just happy doing his solo thing, touring, and he just tours. It's not so stressful the way I think John tours as what we do, because we just pound through the shows, but. We'll just have to wait and see on that and see what the outcome is.
Well, I got to say, I talked to John last year, and he was ready.
I wouldn't count it out. Let's put it that way.
Good. I'm glad to hear. And are you still friendly with Rick Wakeman as well?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I think the perfect storm would be you guys get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then we have the big Yes reunion with Rick Wakeman and John Anderson on stage in Cleveland.
Yeah, they call it the classic lineup, yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing Yes in July at the NYCB Theater at Westbury, the famous venue where there's not a bad seat in the house. And Alan, thank you for taking time to chat with us this morning.
All right. It's a pleasure. Thanks very much.